Hi guys, I'm here today with Matt and I'm going to be trying to teach him how to ride the Trotter. And so, have you been on it before?
Not before today, no.
Okay, so let's see, just try and keep your legs straight, knees locked, and I am, like I said, going to have you try to do different foots forward, a different foot forward, because I had to switch back and forth to figure out which one was more comfortable for me. So, let's try this. Almost got it.
So what you want to do is lock your knees straight when you're first getting your balance.
You got it.
One of the main tips is to keep your head centered above the wheel and your knees locked. Now you can start bending your knees at some point, but you want to keep your knees locked in whatever position they're in while you're learning. The control on this board is all in your ankles and your hips. You want to keep your weight and your head centered above that wheel at all times.
Alright.
As you go forward, if you lean your shoulder in and your toe down, you'll turn that way. If you lean your shoulder back and your heel down, you'll turn that way. Now, the harder you lean forward, the faster you'll go.
You got it? Yeah. There you go.
Back the other way.
You got it. Oh. Positioning, you want to keep, in the beginning, you want to keep your front leg kind of bent a little bit and then your back one locked for sure. And with your heel and toe, you want to keep it about even.
Right.
So,
Probably should have wore shoes, huh?
yeah, closed-toed shoes are suggested very.
As soon as you place your front foot on that sensor, it tries to activate. Now what Matt's doing here is trying to control that and not just let it level itself. So that's why it's fighting him. Once you get level though, it gets pretty easy. I would say it takes a solid 15 to 20 minutes of actual practice to get this. So don't give up in the first 5 minutes. So remember, try to keep your shoulders straight and your head above that board. Or above the wheel.
Let's try and go straight this way.
All right, let them go. Remember, keep them knees kind of straight, and it's all in your ankles and your hips. Keep them knees straight, and that'll stabilize you if you start to go wobbly.
Got me going a little ways.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your foot on the tire first.
Tire?
Yep, and that'll kind of help you adjust your back foot position. Now, when you put your foot on that front pad, it's gonna activate and try to level itself. So let it instead of fighting it. Kind of leave your back foot straight and your front knee bent, and slowly step into it. Hey, look at that!
Yeah!
Except my feet are all kind of stuck right now.
Once you get comfortable, you can kind of pivot them yourself as you're moving.
Oh, man.
It's easier for someone to learn if you're on packed dirt or short grass rather than concrete because it's more forgiving than if you fall on hard cement or whatever. So that's how I learned. I learned right here actually. So
Right.
if you want, and it helps if you put your front foot to start right here as you put your back foot right there, because it can just give you that first balance feeling. And as you just get an idea for that, once you're ready, there you go.
Not bad.
Did that feel a little easier once you did that?
Definitely.
Okay. So when you are riding, it was a struggle for me at first, definitely, but you want to try and keep your shoulders square with the board and your head right above the wheel, because it'll keep you balanced and you'll be able to like swivel with your hips and all that to turn easier.
Right.
And I actually start to notice back and shoulder pain if I stand like this and ride, and it's just not fun. So that is just definitely the easiest way to try.
All right, let's see what we can do.
Okay.
Thumbs up. So we're still working with Matt here, gonna help him get some of the finer points of riding this thing down so he's a little bit more smooth. So Carly's already explained to you about getting your balance at first and putting that foot on this tire. So another thing is you want to try and keep your toes and your heels about equal distances, and usually on the back pad a little bit closer to the front to the wheel, and on the front a little bit further forward, just until you start to get your balance a little better. And also again, with keeping the knees locked at first, once you start getting a little more comfortable, you can get a little bit of a bend in them. They still got to stay kind of stiff. So go ahead and hop on there. And if you need, I like seeing you get up on your own without my help. So see, once you start learning to keep that head above the wheel, it gets a lot easier to get that balance. So now keep them shoulders square, and if you want to turn this way, look that way and lean your shoulder in. Very nice. So I think we're about 10 or 12 minutes into this first lesson, and here's where we're at so far. He's already going by himself, getting on there without my help at this point. Now we're working on turns. So turn your head and lean your shoulder that way towards your toes. Boom. All the while keeping your head centered above the wheel to maintain your balance. You kind of do a pendulum motion with your head centered and the rest of your body swaying. Now, if you put a little more pressure on your front foot, you'll start going faster. I'm going to show them a couple of different dismounts that you can do with this, and I'm going to show you guys as well. So the very first one, which is actually kind of tough for me to do, is to roll your foot completely off the front pad until it disengages like that. Now, to me, that's a little bit tough. So another one that I like to do, and this is my go-to, which I'm not sure how the actual company would feel about me showing you guys this, but we're gonna do it anyway. It's called the slam stop. So if you go forward, slam that down and lift your foot. And that to me has been the easiest, most consistent way to get off of it. Now the second way, or the second way that the instruction manual will actually tell you is the 45-degree tilt, which is basically this. If it tips 45 degrees, it will stop and it'll make that beep to let you know it's disengaged. So that's one of their recommended ways. You can also roll backwards. I'm not a huge fan of that method, and I can't really do the pirouette ballerina method. So my general go-to is while I'm moving, as you're moving slightly forward, you use that momentum to kick the bottom down and lift your front foot off. So we're going to try that with Matt now. Whichever method makes him most comfortable. So foot on the tire to get your balance, adjust your back foot, and then remember, gently lean into it, head center. So try any of those methods, Matt. There's the slam stop, pretty easy. And disengaging like that, it's not going to keep going and shoot out from you. As soon as you relieve pressure from one side or the other, the board disengages. try the roll-off method, just the side tilt. I guess I should mention that when you do the side tilt method, you're supposed to be at a complete stop. But once you really get comfortable on the board, to me and most of my friends, it seems like the slam stop, dropping that tail, is the easiest method. You were going a little fast there, which is fine. You obviously did it really well. Generally, you just need a little bit of forward momentum. Just barely moving, and you can use that to kind of push it down because you're... MAGWheel learning curve. Still in sandals, but getting better. You gotta de-weight when you go over something like that. You gotta kind of lift your weight off the board.
When you go over bumpies, give your knees a little bit of a bend.
Yep. How you feeling on that thing, day 2?